They're part of a whole family.
They're all comedians.
Yeah, they're all comedians.
You know what? Let's Google it. Google it.
Yeah.
My wife and kids staff. I mean staff. Wife and kids cast.
It's on.
Damon Wayans.
Wayans, yeah.
The Wayans
family.
brother, yeah.
Brothers. Yeah.
I
The
love
whole
him.
seasons, the whole thing's on my wife, on Disney.
I love Disney.
Anyways, let's do the formalities, Dunzii.
Yes.
All right, guys, welcome to Start Somewhere Media's Word from Home, where we speak to artists, athletes, and creatives from around the world to share their stories to inspire the next generation to start somewhere. Today's special guest of mine is Dunzii,
Hello.
also known as Danielle by her government name, that I met through basketball and at concerts.
R&B Fridays.
Yeah, like
was the first
a few
one.
years ago, and yeah, we always kept in touch. Chelsea's been ordered. It was actually not me. It was more Chelsea.
More Chelsea. She's been more supportive than you have.
I feel bad, but I came back.
You came once. Chelsea's
But
ordered from me
always
three times now.
For my
Shout out, Chelsea.
Because it was my sister's 18th. Like
Oh,
and it was a full
yeah,
debut
yeah.
proper one, and then
That was the first one.
But I was like, oh, I know someone that makes cakes, and then she went through your page. She was like, oh, this looks really good. Let's go. Let's run with it. And then she contacted you.
I know, and she's been back ever since.
Yeah, she always comes back. She surprised me on my 27th with a Kobe cake.
Yep.
And even this year, she surprised me again. With
Where did you guys go?
Somewhere.
You had a dinner or something?
No, we had a whole bunch of people come through in the city.
Oh, the sports
Yeah, the sports bar place.
bar
in the
thing,
city,
yeah.
yeah. Dunzii owns a cake shop. What do you like to call it?
I don't know, like more of like, yeah, cake shop, dessert kind of shop.
Yeah, out here in Cabarita. So if you guys need her Instagram and Facebook's So Baked, at So Baked.
And follow, please, like.
Yeah, follow, order,
Yes.
support, and don't
small
be
businesses.
late. Yeah, don't be late with the support. And actually, I got to congratulate you because you just got the nomination for local awards business. Yeah.
Yes. Finalist now.
Finalist.
Yes.
Now. Perfect.
So
when does that all? come through?
So I think we have to submit like this kind of like ordeal with like questions and why we should be winners by end of August, and then awards happen in September. So
can people still vote, or it's already that process has already been done?
it's already been done.
Okay, cool.
Which is, thank you to everyone who's voted or who hasn't. Well, screw you all. No, but like it's something that like I didn't actually see myself being a finalist. Like I was just like, because you can't, the thing is with the Australian Business Awards, you can't see who's voted you and how many numbers you've seen or like has
How do you
voted
get nominated to be actually in the picture and that?
So you just register your business and you kind of just go from one point to say, hey, can you guys vote for me as a small business? I'm part of Canterbury Bankstown area because originally my business is registered in Campsie, which is where everything started. So that's kind of been my region, and I've had customers, my friends, family share it.
We've got a lot of mutual friends.
Yeah, a lot of mutual philo friends.
Philo friends. I'll bring I remember just being out or something, and then I don't know, your name would get brought up, and people would be
in
like,
a good way, right?
Yeah, good way, of course. I don't think anyone can say anything bad about you, but like, yeah, I'd bring up your name, like Dunzii, like Dunzii.
Yeah, I'm like, no one knows me as Danielle anymore. It's just
Like,
more
Dunzii.
of like, oh, yeah, Dunzii. It's like, yes, that's me.
And then some people say the same thing, like, oh, Jem. Like,
Yeah. Wait, is Jem your real name?
no, Joseph Emmanuel is my government name.
Joseph.
When I was
Joseph.
watching Jokoi.
Oh yeah, that's your name,
that's
Joseph.
Jem. And that's how. Oh, my mum calls me Jem, but like.
Oh yeah. Jem. That's all I know. Jem.
Yeah. So we also have like the same not similarities, but like interests. Like you love basketball. Who's your team?
Well, I did. If you guys have been watching the playoffs, they just lost because Durant got tired. He got gassed out.
He's doing everything, and he's coming back from injury.
Yeah, and like Irving was out, he was injured, and then you had Griffin with the freaking turnovers. And, like,
Now, my respect for Durant this playoffs has really gone up again after like me calling him all the names under the sun the past few years. But he really showed out this playoff.
Yeah, and he's one of like senior players. Like he's not like one of the youngins.
Yeah,
like
he's
you know, OG. Like really OG.
And that's crazy thinking that Durant's an OG.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well,
he hasn't retired yet or anything.
How old is he? Like 32? Your age?
No, he's older.
He's older?
He's probably like 38, maybe
Nah.
early 40s.
Nah, Durant.
He has a receding hairline.
Yeah, he looks old, but he can't be because
He can't be.
LeBron's 36, and Durant's
older
by 3-4 years. Durant's younger.
Oh.
Well, yeah, he's younger. He's younger. He's definitely younger because he came in 07 when 07-08 draft, and Bron's been since 03, since high school. That's why he's much older.
No, I actually thought he was older. He was like 40 plus or something.
Were you a Durant fan, or have you always been a Nets fan? Like, how does that work?
No, I was never a Nets fan. It's just because they've got all the star players.
Oh my God.
And I jumped on the bandwagon. No, originally I was betting on Celtics. And then I kind of just didn't watch it because I got so busy. I wasn't really paying attention to NBA. And then I used to follow Jamal.
Yeah.
And then even when we went to America, I was just like, oh my God, fangirly. Huh?
Jamal who?
Crawford.
Oh, Jamal Crawford.
Yeah.
Oh, Jamal Murray.
So he was someone that I idolized, and just like the way he plays and everything. But I don't know. I don't really follow it team.
Yeah.
I just kind of go for whoever's winning.
You never been a Laker fan?
Nah, not really.
I know people that you might know that were like, they're just bandwagon fans as well.
No, my husband is a #1 Clippers fan, and he is like solid team. He's just like, this is my team. Yeah.
What
CP3 Griffin days.
Before that or no?
No,
Chris
before that
Kinman
too.
days?
Yeah. He's always been a Clippers fan. I jumped
How
on the bandwagon.
unfortunate.
I know.
They'll probably get
Sweet.
ousted. Sorry, Tony, you'll probably get ousted next round too.
I know. Sorry.
Dunzii, tell us more about yourself, like your upbringing. None of those like stupid work icebreakers, but just tell us about where you grew up and that, and
Well,
things that you love to do that we wouldn't know.
yeah. Well, I was born here. Yeah. That's first.
You're not a freshie.
I'm not a freshie, but I can speak Tagalog, which is a bonus. Well, my upbringing, I was born and raised in Campsie. Oh no, sorry, Marrickville to begin with, and then I moved to Campsie when I was like 5 or 6, and I've always been inner west.
Yeah,
like west. Growing up in Ash.
I was born in Campsie, so we got.
Yeah, apparently so. Like another thing, exactly. And then I went to high school in Ashfield.
What school?
Bethlehem College. It's like the purple
just right by the station.
Yeah, just right by the station. So I've always been in a Catholic school, and growing up as philo, your morals and like, always take care of your parents, always like have a career, have this, like all that stuff. It was, I don't know, it was just more of the fact that like I myself am different to my parents. And the older you get, the more you realize, okay, they did their best, but I want to be better. Yeah. And I think that's why, I didn't study. I did not study anything.
I was going to ask, did you go to uni after? Did you go through the whole, most philos have to go through, finish high school.
And all my cousins are nurses. So like, what a coincidence. But a lot of my cousins were nurses, and it started off with, what am I going to do? Like, I want a car. I need to buy a car. So I had to get a job. Started a call center, Census, where I ended up staying for like 6-7 years. And it was my first job. And I started events management for like at TAFE, which was a 6-month course, but it wasn't something that I was...
So you kind of studied, but not uni route.
It's like spoon-fed to you. Like, they're pretty much like, that's not the answer, it's a letter A. But it was something that I didn't really like. I thought, maybe I could be like a wedding planner, or maybe I could do this, and maybe I could do that. It's just, when you're young...
Yeah, you're trying to figure it out.
You're trying everything. You're like, what do I do? I even did podium dancing at clubs. Like, it was just like with clothes on, obviously, not like a stripper kind of thing. But it was something that I was just like, single, trying to find my way. And then I ended up just making my way up in a corporate ladder. And I became a case manager, a team leader, a manager. And then I did have the opportunity to work overseas as well in the Philippines.
Oh, yeah.
So that happened.
The same company?
Yeah, same company for like 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
And then I got a redundancy. So that was kind of my
turning point,
but more of like a extra push to do something else. And it wasn't even like when I started So Baked. It was more of the fact like, let me take a break because I've been working for like 6-7 years straight. I still don't know what to do. And that was the same time that like, I think I was trying to look for a job, but then I was also planning to get married to my husband. Yeah. I got married pretty young, like 25. 25, 26. And from there, like I quit my job. I didn't know what I was doing. I was in between, like I tried sales, which I hated. No offense to people who like sales. And then it first started when I had my engagement. And then the girls bought me a KitchenAid. So it was like, there's standard mixers, but they're freaking expensive. They're like $1,000 or like $1,500 or something. And then I was like, oh shit, there's so much pressure on me to like bake these things. And I was like, a fat kid that like loved sweet. You know what I mean? Like
Chelsea loves desserts.
Love
That's probably why she was like, she saw yours. She was like, yeah, this is good because whenever we go, I love eating.
Yes.
As you can tell.
As we all do.
But she's the dessert fiend.
Yeah. And I say this to my husband too, like, even though I'm so full, I'm like, oh, I still got to dessert something. I need something sweet. Just to like, like how some people like wine after, or like some people like to smoke. I'm like, I just need something sweet. Like, what can I have? Like, and it's usually ice cream for me or cake. Yeah. And then I think it was one of those things because I grew up on condensed milk. Like, I don't know how to emphasize how much condensed milk is so good. Like, just on toast. Or like
so good but so bad.
Yeah, so bad. And like my dad would used to make either pancakes or it's this filler thing called champorado, and it's like chocolate rice pudding.
Yeah.
Would you describe it like that? Yeah.
It's like lugal but chocolate.
Yeah, exactly. And it would be like just drenched in condensed milk, and I was like, oh. But yeah, and I don't know what else about me. I mean, I love basketball. I play basketball. I also love the gym because I'm in this industry, and you eat and you test and you go to all these events, so you're constantly eating. So it's kind of just having to find the balance. Yeah. And the gym kind of gets the stress away from me and helps me just
keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
Tell us more about like your transition from your career to So Baked. Like, when was the actual turning point where you're like, all right, this is what I want to do? Or how did you learn how to start
So Baked?
Yeah.
Well, like what I rambled on about, I started in a course in a like corporate kind of industry, and I think the push was when I just started making cakes for friends and family. That's how you started. Yeah, that's how I started. And I still remember my first customer. It was at Top Ride Hurricanes, and I bought a cake to my friend's birthday, and then this waiter that was working there came up to me and was just like, oh my God, where did you get this cake from? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, I actually made it. I was like so proud.
Boosted your ego.
Yeah, boosted my ego. I was like, yeah, I'm so good. I was like, and then it just happened from there that she got my number, and I didn't know how to price cakes at all. Like, I was just so new about it. Like, you can't Google how much a cake is worth. Like Michelle's, no offense, but Michelle's patisserie is like $30. So then I charged her $30 for such hard work, and it wasn't worth it. Like, it was just more like thinking about it then. I was like, you got to make mistakes before to where you get to, and you're like, shit, like, what was I doing? But that's how it started. And then I just went on social media, like Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, all that stuff, and it just went from there.
How long has it been now?
It would be 4 years at the end of this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you were charging people like $30 a cake, but you didn't think of the cost of actually having to make the cake for yourself. Plus, Michelle's Patisserie is a big company that has all the backing, mass production. So they be throwing out heaps of cakes to make it cheaper. Yeah.
So I think because I don't have any business background, it was more just like, okay, so she paid $15 for the ingredients. And I'll pay myself like $15 like just to make it. But it took me like 5 hours to make. And I was just like, wait, I didn't think this through because, in a corporate world, you have HR and you have payroll who think about what you're worth, or your dollar worth is. And the more older you get, you kind of realize, oh shit, like I'm actually worth more. Like, and you know, it's all a learning curve, and it worked out.
Who do you think, through this process, who do you think's been like a good influence in your life, or let's say a mentor to help you out create all this, like to start pricing things, or have you just worked everything out yourself?
In the beginning, it was more like learning and a lot of like just guessing everything, but I do have to give a major shout out to Alison from Lush Cups, who owns this place.
So you guys like share this whole
space and I work for her, so she's taught me everything. Like
shout out Alison.
Shout out Alison. She has been in the industry for 16 years, so she's, you know, an OG as well. She, I don't know, like it spins me out because she's at an age where, you know, she's got 2 older children, but she's got so much energy for her age. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't complain. Like, I'm like this 31-year-old who's just like, oh, I've been standing for 9 hours. Like, you know, it's different because at a desk job, you're sitting there for like, you know, 5 hours every time. And then once you come into a retail job or like a standing up job, like, oh, my calves hurt, my feet hurt. I'm like complaining over the smallest things.
It's good to be moving around.
Yeah, and now that like, you burn a lot of calories. Like, you know, you're constantly moving, you're constantly thinking, and then it does burn you out. But I think that's why it kind of made me realize, oh my God, if she can do it, and if you can see someone do it physically, you're like, I can push myself too.
So were you working here first?
No,
you were
started
doing
it
your
from
own
home.
thing, and then you saw this space and you're like...
So originally we were at Concord West.
Yeah.
And I was part-time. So I was just like supposed to just help out and work on my other business too. My business.
Yeah.
And then she obviously needed the help. And then we kind of came to an agreement to kind of like say, hey, can you help me and I help you? So then it worked out for me because at home I could probably only fit like 5-6 cakes. And obviously I'd have to turn cakes away and it would be a loss for me and my business. And coming here, I can jump up to like 16 to 20 orders and more because she's got the space and she's got the flexibility, which I'm very grateful for. And it's actually expanded my So-So Bake business because I can now take more orders and say yes to everything. Oh, well, yeah, I do, unfortunately.
That's cool. Besides just your whole bakery and your cake shop, who's been an influence in your life? Like, people that know me, that watch my stuff, and even you would know, like Kobe Bryant's been a massive influence in my life. Like the whole Mamba mentality, and same as like a Pacquiao, The Rock, or those are my guys. Like I love. Growing up as a kid, I always watched those guys and how they would work and do things. Yeah. Who's been an influence in your life? Would you say like someone that you've been following and you like, maybe even fangirl? I don't know, but like someone that's really you feel has impacted your life. It doesn't even have to be a celebrity or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like someone in your life.
I know this might sound cheesy, but I would probably say my dad.
Yeah.
Like he's always been that person that never took a sick day. And he has been working ever since he was 18 as well. And it was one of those things that like, I was like, how does my dad get up every day, have no sick leave, and like, he had this mentality where pretend you're broke, but work like you're rich. So every day he'd be going to work, picking my mum up, picking me up, like just that like hustle mentality.
That's all of them.
That's all of them.
That's
and like
the immigrant.
Yeah, the immigrant lifestyle of just like, he was like a little small built man, like he's 5'6". Yeah. And he would be able to lift 20 kilos, 30 kilos. And I'm just like complaining over like a 5-kilo bag of rice. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, Dad, I don't want to carry this. Like, it's just the most like, because I don't know, would I be a Gen Z? Or
no, I think we're Gen Y.
Gen Y.
No, we'd still be Gen Y. We're millennials.
Yeah. So growing up, you're kind of like privileged.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, you've got 100%. The internet, you've got a mobile phone, you've got like so much opportunities. And he would just be like, I don't know why you need to rely on that. Like, it's just, it was one of those key things that I kind of looked up to.
Yeah. Let's go around back to that whole immigrant mentality and that. It's crazy, like privilege, speaking of privilege, like they had to, I'm sure your parents did the same, leave a whole family behind, not knowing when they'll ever see them again.
Yeah.
I don't know if your dad said the exact same story, but my dad goes, I came to Sydney with $20 in my pocket.
Yes, oh my God. Oh, it's probably copy and paste.
They all say the same story.
They
but
do.
They probably had a few cash up, but
$20 in my pocket.
I came here with $20.
And I'm like, what? Like you had $20? You could buy a lot of things.
But it's crazy, like they've been able to move to a whole different country that they don't even speak the language proper yet. And, you know, work different jobs, whatever they can, because the college degree don't even make sense.
Or you'd have to start again.
Yeah,
pretty
start
much.
again, like start your degree once again when you come here, and then try and pivot, trying to make a family, blah, 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 everything will work.
And adapting to a new culture, we're and that's one of the main things.
And then we're born in the country, we have all the privilege of the country.
Exactly. Straight up Australian citizens, straight up like education.
Don't have to deal with paperwork, none of that. Like we just come,
Medicare,
we're here. We're here. And I've always thought like, you know, we should be doing so much more. Like I want to do more than just going to uni and like everyone's different, but I'm just saying like I'm happy and I'm proud to say like that it's so good to, that's why I like talking to people like you, like just sitting down, because you are making something out of nothing as well. Like you're running with it. Do you get what I mean? Like your parents did so much for you guys. Like you have siblings?
I have one brother.
Yeah, like they've done so much for you, us, like my parents as well. They've done so much for us. Like we got to run with it. We can't just like, it can't be disrespectful to them that we just, you know, like have a ordinary kind of life.
Do you think it's hard to let them down?
But like, that was always in the back of my head when I was going to uni, and I was always like, I got to go to uni. I'm glad that I did, because I did pick up different skills, and I'm working on things to, you know, like be able to expand as well.
Yeah.
But that was always in the back of my head. I'll go to uni because it's my mum. You know, I don't want to disappoint them. Like everyone, shout out to everyone, all my family in my mum's side. Everyone's educated. I think that's the way in Philippines. Like you must go to college, and it's good for them because they need to, so that they can get a job or they can move overseas. Yeah,
and it's true, because like I think growing up in that Asian culture, it's just like, oh, you study, you get a job, or like you just get a degree to kind of like help your parents. Because it's like them investing in you.
I think that, plus I think that's the only way they know.
Yeah.
Because that's how they brought up. That's how they were brought up. So they think that we must go to uni to get a job or go to become a nurse or whatever, like your profession. I think that's all that they know. Yeah. But like, you're the start of like a whole different generation of like entrepreneurship. Yeah. You know? Like you've come out of that.
That shell.
Yeah. You were born and raised here, and you're like, I didn't really want to do that. Like
and like be your own boss. Like it's one of those things where and I think my mum still kind of doesn't get it. She's just like, oh, so what happens? Like, you know, what if you don't get enough money? Like, you know, what's going to happen to your, like, I think being Filipino, having a cake shop isn't a serious career. It's always been like, what happens to you next? Like, that's it. Like, you can't go up, or you can't earn a certain salary bracket. And it just stops there. It's like, oh, you do cakes, that's it. So I think my mum's never fully understood it to say, hey, it's actually a career. Like, it's not just like, I'm just doing it for fun. Yeah. And you're enjoying every day. Yeah, like, I enjoy it. It's my passion. Like, it's... That's what Start Somewhere Media is like about, like pursuing your passions. Yeah. You know, like I love talking to people, or like people that come up with an idea, or they're talking to me about an idea, and I tell them like, go for it. Why don't you just go for it? Don't tell me, like, go do it, because you never know. You never know. And like, you're a perfect example. I am here. Many people find it hard just starting, you know, just to start. Yep. What advice have you got for those with an idea, and like the challenges, or anything that you want to give advice to these people? Oh man. Just to start, you know? Yeah. Because I like,
while you're thinking of your answer, during 2020 pandemic, I remember, you know, like Kobe passed away and everything, and I had so much time, and I was like, man, I got all this time now. Like, I'm at home working from home. Like, I want to, let's start creating content. Like, let's start doing this, doing that. Like, I had friends that I could jump on with and do that, and let's see how it goes the next few years, the next decade or so. You know, what would you say to someone that
starting
has an
off,
idea, just has an idea, but I don't know, start.
I think one of my friends always said this to me, and it always has stuck in my head. It was just, what was it? Fail to plan, plan to fail.
Yeah.
And it was always just something that was stuck in my head to say, okay, how do I do this? How do I start? Like, what do I do? Like, I don't know, do your own research. Okay, that was the first thing I did. And I was like, what can I do to make my brand aware to the audience that I'm trying to target?
Yeah.
And it was really hard. There was a lot of trial and error. And the main thing is just don't give up. You can't just say, oh, it's not working. I'm just going to go back to my 9-to-5 job. That's it. I'm done. It's a lot of hustle and a lot of sacrifice. Like, you know, the hustle that you do, you can't say that you'll only work Monday to Friday. You know, it's every single day, every single hour. But now that it pays off. You know, now that I'm in my 4th year, I've known when to let go, when to give myself some time for friends and family, because I used to say yes to everything, and that burned me out. And it used to take such a toll on me because I came from customer service, and it was like, okay, customers are obviously my main component of my business. If I didn't have customers, I wouldn't have a business. And I think growing from that, you just have to learn from your mistakes. And like as long as you can own your consequences, then you'll know how to grow.
Speaking of like not giving up, but like you had a challenging year last year, right?
COVID, yes.
Yeah, tell us about how that was for you.
Well, I didn't have a job.
Yeah.
Or like I just didn't have a source of income because, yes, my husband works in an office job, so he had a security blanket where you can work from home and, you know, you still have an income. And I know a lot of people in hospitality, retail lost their jobs, and I was one of those people that got affected. I think how it turned for my business is I was actually close to giving up too, because, you know, as with Lush Cups too, she wasn't getting any business. Everyone cancelled, but it made me realize there's actually so much more than just selling cakes. Yeah. Like, you know, maybe I can turn it into selling gifts. And so and that's
what were the things that you did?
So we would just like do deliveries across Sydney for like cupcakes, you know, how like door to door. I'd be like, oh, I'll leave it at the front porch. I just won't make any contact because of the whole COVID thing. And that turned around, and then it got me into paid advertising. So I always heavily relied on just social media, like Instagram, Facebook. And I was like, there has to be something more. Like what they say, you have to spend money to make money. Yep. And that was an avenue that I kind of managed the Google ads. I don't know, you're in marketing.
No, I know
Google, so I was like, all these like algorithms and
you're learning all of that.
Yeah.
But how cool is that? You get to like, you're learning about new things to get better.
Exactly. And it was something that was just like, oh, I never knew this existed. I never knew I could do this. Yeah. Like, you know, as a business owner, you're like, I become an accountant, I become the manager, I become the bloody marketing, I become everything. I become the cleaner, the delivery driver, like, and that's what people just don't see, like behind the closed doors.
Or behind the Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, they just see.
Some people, like you were telling me earlier, that some people think they'll write a review or something. They'll be like, thanks to the team.
I know, and they're probably it's just me. It's not like I say, oh, Dunzii's cakes. It's just like, oh, hey team, great work last week, and I'm like, yeah, it was just me. Like, there was no one else. And
how'd you come up with the name?
So, actually, it was. I'm a So Deaf fan, and then it started. See,
I knew it. I was like,
a lot of people did kind of pick it up, and I think I started from like, I was like, oh, So Deaf, and they're like, oh yeah, So Baked, and like it just kind of like
You
clicked.
Wait.
Yeah. And I was
No,
like,
you wait till you get bigger and So Def or Def Jam come up to you and like, we want some of your money.
I'll take it. Yeah, no,
We want
but I'll
some
be
of
like,
that money.
yeah, I know. I was like, no,
copyright.
it's not copyright. It's So Def and So Bake. Like, come on, guys, please don't.
Final question.
Yeah.
Who's your top 3 NBA players? It can be past, present, future. Future. But yeah, who's your top 3 players?
Well, Jordan.
Oh yeah?
Definitely
Oh yeah,
Jordan,
that's right.
yeah.
You always were. Yeah.
I love my Jordans, like shoe-wise.
Oh yeah, that.
Yes. I love my sneakers.
Yeah, you're a sneaker collector.
Yeah. My husband hates
it. Were you ever a reseller?
No.
I hate them.
You know, I tried to be a
I
reseller,
hate 'em.
but then I ended up keeping them. It was like my mistake, but then at the same time,
You're a
I look at it.
collector.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, like I've been collecting cards.
Oh, the
Basketball
NBA,
cards,
yeah. How long has that
since
been
the
going?
pandemic.
Oh.
But
They get
the
expensive.
past 2 years, yeah.
Hectic crazy.
It's been
like,
cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Jordan.
Jordan, Jamal Crawford,
Mm-hmm.
and that's gonna be a hard one. Third one.
You need someone now.
I would say Durant,
Yeah.
not just because I'm jumping on the bandwagon.
How'd you Jamal Crawford? How'd that come about?
It's because of my husband, because of Clippers.
okay.
And because I saw him play in person,
Yeah,
I was
like
like, oh, I really,
And
yeah.
he's good.
He is good. I used to be a Harden fan, like only because I tried to study his ways of like the step back, you know how he's good at that, and I was just like, oh, I really want to be like Harden, and then it was just, I don't know, I kind of like flaked off after he got injured and like all that stuff.
I want to know today. So the last few seconds, right, of the game, of the Nets and the Nets and Bucks game, Harden had the ball and like 10 seconds to go, and this is James Harden who used to score 50 points, triple doubles.
It's so shocking.
And he had, I feel like he had a laneway on the right side to just go in and lay it up or get a foul with 2 points and he just passed it to KD, and KD had no more legs. But like,
exactly,
does Harden
he could have done
how
it
to score anymore?
Yeah,
Like,
I think
he's still injured. You reckon?
he's still injured, but it's also like it's hard to say. Like it must happen to NBA players too. Like you know what? It's an important game.
Yeah. He kind of chokes in the playoffs.
Yeah, he choked. He choked so hard, and it was like, and you can tell they're all gassed out. Like
but Game 7, they're tired.
Yeah, and they're just like, we really want to win, but we can't because they're so tired. And no one wants to sub off. Yeah. So it's just, it happens. Like, you know, it happens to our finals. I'm like, far out.
We're not on the big stage, Game 7.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's your pick to win the championship this year?
Ooh. I can't say because I'm just going to look back at this and be like, shit, what did I say?
Yeah, and then we'll put it up.
No, I'll say it because of my husband.
Yeah,
Clippers.
Okay.
Like,
I don't think
who do you think?
Sure.
Obviously.
Who's still in?
Your team?
Okay. No, we're not in.
Oh, you're not?
Lakers are out.
Oh, no, not Lakers.
So in the West, we've got Suns and we've got...
Wait, did Heat make it?
Clippers? No.
It's
76ers and Hawks got Game 7 tomorrow.
I thought you were a Hawks fan.
Nah. Well, come on. I think the Suns will come out of the West. I think Philly will win tomorrow. Oh, that'll be a good Eastern Conference for Philly Bucks. I don't know.
Who do you think will win?
I think now that Giannis has come out, like he's like, he beat KD, who have all this confidence now.
It boosted his morale to kind of like just push.
Yeah, like he got over the hump for that. I think he'll make it to the finals. I'm hoping a Suns Bucks finals. How lame does that sound? But I think that'll be the one. And let's go Suns because I want CP3 to win one. Oh
yeah, true. He deserves it. I feel like he's been hustling so hard that it's like he's got such a young team that it's like, come on, CP3, please just make it there. He's so close, so close.
And speaking of so close, like every time he's about to an injury, you know, like against the Rockets. How about this one? He can't play tomorrow because of COVID.
Oh.
He's in COVID protocol. Yeah, so.
Poor CP3.
Hopefully CP3 comes
CP3.
through. That's gonna be my pick. That's gonna be my pick. The Suns.
Do you do what's that thing again?
I know what you're talking about.
On your phone.
It's not betting. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Where you have like Fantasy,
Fantasy League.
No, I got no time. Like, I remember I was in one.
Yeah.
And you got to always be on and like always watching. No, I can't.
That's like with Bitcoin. I'm with Bitcoin now.
Crypto?
Yeah, in crypto.
Yeah.
Who's your top 3?
Kobe.
Yep, of course.
Number 1. Oh, I don't even think of it.
Yeah, you like just went Kobe.
3.
Kobe.
Yeah, no, Kobe. No, in the NBA, I like Ernie Johnson. He's not a basketball player, but I like Inside the NBA. He's the host of.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like,
no,
isn't
like
he
my top 3 NBA people in the NBA.
Like,
he's
people
one of my
in the NBA. Okay.
Favorite.
And I should have said Shaq and a Fool.
I like Shaq as well.
Yeah.
Lakers. Right now, I like and someone that playing now, AD. Yeah. Hopefully, he can get healthy next year, and we'll come back.
Yes.
Lake show. All right, guys, we'll wrap it up there. I just want to say thank you, Dunzii, for taking your time and sharing your stories to everyone that's out there that's going to listen. Make sure to follow Dunzii on her Instagram and Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
You can put your plug out there.
Yes, I'll put it down here, up there, there, everywhere.
At So Baked. Make sure you give her, make sure you like and
share.
Yes, and support by buying.
Mm-hmm. Small business.
I vouch that they're very good, and like you can change your flavors and you can tell her how you want the design. And I remember Chels told her like, I want this, that, like going back and forth. I want it like this, like that, and you can do it for. I don't know, you do wedding cakes and everything.
Yeah,
right?
wedding cakes, engagements, everything. But like, it's not just cakes. It's like, you know, your desserts, your dessert cups, your cupcakes. And all that stuff. I do deliver Sydney wide, but like only within like 30 kilometers. It's not too whoop whoop.
Penrith? Maybe.
No. Please no. It took me like that whole day to get there. Sorry.
You can pick it up here.
Exactly.
And make sure you subscribe, give us a like, leave a comment below. And if you enjoyed this episode, you can follow us on Start Somewhere Media on Instagram and on YouTube. You can listen to this on all platforms as well, Spotify and Apple Music. I'm Jem. Dunzii.
Dunzii.
So Baked.
See ya.
Thanks, Dunz.
Oh, good.
You did it.